welcome back to the channel. So in today's video will be a rehousing of the Monocentropus balfouri, the Sculpture Island Blue Baboon. So hopefully you enjoy, and let's get on with this rehousing. So as you can see, she's in this tall Bra Plus tub. This was just a temporary enclosure for her until I had a free one of these 15 by 15 by 21 centimeter cube enclosures. So yeah, she'll be going in this. I do like these enclosures, and I have mentioned them quite a few times in my past videos. I do find these do make a cool display enclosure, and with this tarantula they web up quite a bit, so to see some cool webbing, it'll make a cool display enclosure. I'm going to take out the tarantula first, and then we'll make the enclosure. So I'm not going to be talking loads about this tarantula, because my next care and husbandry video is going to be about this tarantula, the Monocentropus balfouri. So stay tuned for that. So this is just going to be a very quick rehouse of this tarantula. So I will talk about just the main things about this tarantula. So these are an old world tarantula. So you do have to give them, you do have to be pretty careful when you are dealing with these. Obviously not good for a first time owner, but I will recommend them for a first time old world keeper. I don't find these tarantulas that defensive. They're more, well, I got two of these and they're both females. Well, the one we're rehousing now is a confirmed female. However, the other one, I'm still waiting for it to molt, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely a female. But yeah, I do recommend these for a first time old world keeper, because I don't find them that defensive. They can be, depending on how you're dealing with the situation when you're rehousing them. But I do find them more bolty and quick rather than defensive. But if you can manage that, if you can manage the bolting and stuff like that, and you know what you're doing, if something goes wrong with a rehouse, then yes, I do recommend them for a first time old world keeper. These are definitely a popular tarantula in the hobby because of their looks, the nice blue legs and stuff like that, and their webbing. And also these are popular for communals. A lot of people keep these as a communal, which means more than one tarantula can live in an enclosure. And when you have them as a communal, they will web up near enough the whole enclosure. So they do make some really cool webbing with some cool looking tunnels and stuff like that. So yeah, I do recommend these for a first time old world keeper, but not a first time keeper who's new to the hobby. So now we got the balfouri in the catch cup, let's make the enclosure. So substrate, I'm just using cocoa fibre. Now the bit I'm putting in now, it's got a bit of moisture to it, so it's not too damp and it's not too dry, so it's just in the middle. I don't keep these guys on bone dry substrate. I do like to give them a bit of humidity. So that is, having the substrate just a little bit of dampness. Like I said, it's not too dry and it's not too wet. So it's in between them two. But however, I have put some of its old substrate, which is bone dry, just on top to make it feel a bit more comfortable, I suppose, if that makes sense. Just so it's got like some of its old substrate with bits of webbing, of its own webbing and stuff like that in it. So yeah, that's what I'm using for substrate. All the bits what were in the old enclosure, I am using the same the same stuff. So the sticks I put in, those are picked up from the woods where I go to. I've said it before in a couple of other videos that you can go out and collect stuff yourself. As long as you're away from the roads, it's all safe to use. So this is all stuff I picked up from outside. I do like that bit I just put in then, because it's got that, obviously it's got that bit in the middle, so it can make a good anchor point for webbing. And this was just another one that I just put in randomly. I also didn't put too much substrate in, because I want her to web the enclosure up and not so much burrow. So she's got a little bit of burrowing space, but she can't go down obviously really deep to the point where you can't see her. So yeah, I don't use loads of substrate, because if you use loads of it, then the chances are this tarantula will just burrow into the ground where you most likely won't see it. So I put less substrate in to hopefully stop that, so we get to see more of her and obviously see lots of webbing. Next, I just added in a small fake plant, as you can see in the corner there, and then I just added in just a normal water dish, obviously for the tarantula to drink. And that's pretty much it. I did add some sphagnum moss to this enclosure, which you will see in a second, just to give it, you know, some humidity again, and just for a bit of decoration, I suppose. And there's the sphagnum moss. So yeah, it does have the humidity and also gives the enclosure a bit more of a realistic look. And yeah, basically it's just a bit of decoration at the same time as well. So yeah, that is the enclosure. Just super basic, you know, nothing, you know, that's too much, I suppose. Just one of those basic setups, near enough. And yeah, so that's the enclosure. Let's get the tarantula rehoused. So here she is in the catch cup. So yeah, so again, with talking about these tarantulas, like I said, I didn't want to talk too much about this tarantula because I have got a care and husbandry video on this tarantula coming. That'll probably be either the next video or the video after the next one. And with the care and husbandry videos that I make, if there's a specific tarantula that you want me to talk about, then leave it in the comments down below and I'll look into doing it, because that also lets me know that you enjoy the care and husbandry videos that I make. Well, hopefully you do, because I enjoy making them. So I'm putting the lid on. So as I explained earlier about these guys being quick, the lid will slow her down if she decides to bolt. So that is the reason for that. So that is a tip if you're rehousing these tarantulas or any tarantula that is quite bolty. If you can, put the lid on and then get them out the catch cup, because it will slow them down a bit. So I'm just using the straw to touch her back legs, obviously to make her come out the catch cup. Doing it nice and gently. Obviously you don't want to do it too hard or anything, or else, you know, that could upset your tarantula and will either bolt or even possibly give you a defensive, you know, a threat posture or something like that. So nice and gently, as you can see, she's coming out the cup slowly. So nice and gentle, and there she's out. She's out the cup very nicely. And yeah, very successful rehouse, much better than when I rehoused her in the old enclosure, because in the last time I did it, she bolted a lot. You know, she came out the enclosure and stuff. So, you know, it was a bit of a hard rehouse to do, but this one went very nicely. Nice close-up of her as well. So this is now the end of this video. See if you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I do just want your opinions. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of this video. Hit the subscribe, hit the share, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.